How you doing, everyone? So we're going to do a test on the battery life for the 955 Garmin 955. So I've got the solar version just there, and Jake has got the
non-solar.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we've both charged them to exactly 100%, fully charged, both on the same settings, and we're going to wear these for the next few days and compare the battery life. And we're going to do the same sort of activities and just do things together, so we're doing exactly the same sort of thing. So we'll see how the battery life compares over the next few days. So we've set everything on the watches so they're identical. So what have we done, Jake?
So we've got screen timeouts, brightness settings, GPS accuracy, blood oxygen recording. Everything's absolutely identical.
Yeah. So let's see how they compare after a few days use. So it'd be interesting to know how much better battery life the solar gets
in Scotland
when it's forecast to just be overcast. So it's not supposed to be too sunny, so let's see what the difference is. Right, we're out for a walk, testing the watches, putting them through the paces. So at the moment, accuracy wise, we've got distance. Let's see if you can see both of our watches here. Distance should be exactly the same. We've got different screen on. 2.61 for Jake, 2.60 for me. But you know, Jake, if you go to your elevation.
Yeah.
Jake's elevation is 376. You grab the phone so I can. My elevation is 484. So that's miles out. So the distance seems to be bang on. Elevation, absolute miles out. Which is really weird.
Yeah, it was miles out from the beginning as well.
Yeah, it was. It just thought I started at a higher elevation. So I know we're testing the battery, but that's just something we're noticing. So elevation check. We're at the top of a hill at the moment. So I know we're checking the battery here, but we're just keeping an eye on the differences with the elevation as well. So let's have a look at the watches. I am saying 480. Here we go. And we're getting this. Can you get yours in?
I can try.
Here we go. What's yours saying?
469 now.
469, 481. So a little bit of a difference, but much better than it was the other day. Battery level wise, this is a couple of days after we started checking the battery. There's very little difference in the battery so far. I think I'm only 1% better, but we've not been outside. It's not been sunny that much. When we have been out, it's been pretty overcast. So before we get going, do me a favour, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know, did this video help you at all? Were you thinking about buying the solar version or the non-solar version? Was this of any use? Just let me know in the comments below. It really does make a big difference if you subscribe to the channel, the YouTube algorithms. It just helps the channel and myself. So please help me along. Thanks to everyone out there who already has. So what did it do, or what did I do? What did we both do? Myself and Jake used the watches. So quick breakdown for you. And the first 7 days we used the watches on and off doing different activities. So in those first 7 days we did 5 different activities. I have some notes on a piece of paper here. I'll briefly go through them. I won't go into how far we went on a walk, such things like that. I'll just tell you, day 1 walk, we did 1 hour and 28 minutes. So that's 1 hour and 28 minutes of using the GPS, which is stripping the battery quicker than not using the GPS. So things we noticed initially, straight away on that first walk, as you've just seen on the video before, was the elevation was a bit pear-shaped. So yeah, wasn't expecting that. Short walk, 1 hour and 28 minutes. The non-solar version was correct with the elevation because we cross-referenced it with the map afterwards, and the solar version was miles out. So a little bit surprising, wasn't expecting that. Next activity we did another walk, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Again, you just saw that one on the video before. Both approximately correct. Neither of them were exactly the same, but they weren't a million miles out. I can live with that. That's not too bad. Looking at the map again, they were about the right elevation. So that was okay. And the battery life at that point, there was hardly any difference. There's about a percent. Can't remember what I said in the video. Very little difference up until that point. Next activity we did paddleboard, 30 minutes each. We've only got the one paddleboard, so we had to do this separately, but we both set a 30-minute timer on our watches on that activity. So we were out for exactly 30 minutes and we were back at the beachside for when the timer buzzed. So even though we did that at slightly different times, one after the other, they were both getting used for exactly the same amount of time. Next thing we did was a run, 37-minute run, and we finished off the activities with another walk up a hill, a slightly bigger hill. Went up, it was 2.5 hours in GPS activity time. We went to a known location, so we went to a trig point at the top of a hill where we knew on a map it was a set height. So on the map it said it was 840 meters. On the solar version it said 836. On the non-solar version it said 739. So yeah, it's a bit weird because a few days before it was the non-solar version that was correct with the elevation, and on the last walk we did it was the solar version that was correct with the elevation. And both times when the other one wasn't right, it wasn't right but quite some way. So the elevation is not brilliant, to be honest. You can, in the settings, when you're at a certain height, if you know you're at a certain height, if you're at sea level or the top of a hill where you know on a map it is a certain elevation, you can go into your settings and set the watch to that elevation. But you shouldn't have to do that. It's got an auto setting as well, and that should just work. And it didn't, did it? It kind of worked roughly right on one walk and wrong on two other walks, but the wrong way around. So like both watches were either right or wrong. Elevation, yeah, what's that all about? It's not totally accurate. So adding up all of the minutes there, with the GPS turned on doing activities, we used the GPS for 6 hours and 35 minutes. And after those 7 days of using the GPS and just as day-to-day watch, the non-solar watch was down to 25% and the solar watch was down to 30%. So not a massive amount of difference after a week, only 5%. Weather conditions were typical Scottish weather. It was either cloudy, it was raining, or there was bits of sun here and there. But yeah, we don't all live in the Costa del Sol. It's not always sunny. That's real life use and conditions. So then we didn't do any more activities. We thought we'd just use the watches as day-to-day watches, see how long they'd last before they went down to zero. So Jake's one, the non-solar, that died a death, all the way kaput down to zero. After 10 days, 4 hours and 21 minutes. So, yep, that's how long that one lasted. The solar version lasted, bit of drum roll, an extra 2 days, basically. It lasted 12 days and 30 minutes. So, yeah. That's how much of a difference it is using them off and on in real life situations. You get approximately an extra couple of days, just under, of battery life, which isn't too bad. If you're going to be doing an event, a big long event where you're going to be using the watch turned on with an activity, you're going to do a long run. It's going to be a 100k, 100 mile, whatever distance, and it's on all the time. It's going to be outside, it's going to be getting the solar rays. Even if it's not super sunny, it still gains battery life, even if it's overcast. So yeah, I think for using it for a big event, it's going to make a bigger difference. So is it worth buying the solar version over the non-solar? That's up to you. Do you need the extra battery life? Do you want to spend that little bit more money? I'm pleased I got the solar version. It's proven over 10 to 12 days. It does last longer than the non-solar version, and hopefully I'll get back to doing long distance events myself at some point, and hopefully it gets a bit sunnier in Scotland. I can make more use of the solar watch I paid more money for. So let me know in the comments, as I said before, did this video help you out at all? I don't know, hopefully. Thanks for watching.